Have you ever been told or told yourself that you should never go to bed on an argument? Well, today we're looking at this well meaning advice and why it might be one of the biggest lies told to us about arguments, why forcing peace can actually be hurting your relationship. We've all been told the golden rule of going to bed angry and that we shouldn't do it. And this is so ingrained into us that it's harmful for our relationship. But what if this classic advice is actually causing more harm than good? Is it possible that the fix it now or else is just making it worse? Stay tuned while we challenge everything we've been taught about this. Today, we're giving you permission to break this rule. Let's look at the problem of forcing a resolution when you and your partner are exhausted and feels like we're going round in circles that don't get us anywhere. Our brains get tired and we often say things we don't mean in that moment, and it's more likely to spiral quickly. Things we say can't then be taken back and feels almost like scoring points or having the last word. This is why sometimes it's more sensible to stop and pause it until you've both calmed down a bit and got some rest, which can be a huge help in seeing things much more objectively. Things can seem very different by morning when we've had a break and time to process things over time. The pause it theory and why this is actually beneficial. Staying up all night trying to resolve every issue isn't healthy for us or our relationships and often makes things much worse in the long run in a bid to insist it is sorted before we go to sleep. But realistically, things don't work like that, and that's not always possible, depending on the argument and the severity of the problem. In fact, research shows us that sleep, particularly REM sleep, helps us process emotional experiences. So while we sleep, our brains are literally working on the problem in the background. By pausing it and resuming at an agreed time for further discussion when you're both not tired, it isn't avoidance. It's just pausing it until you're both not emotionally worn out and beginning to hurl hurtful comments at each other for the sake of it as we've run out of emotional energy and can't think clearly anymore. A good night's sleep resets our emotional baseline, and the rage you felt at midnight often feels more manageable and more like embers than a raging hot fire. You gain more perspective. You both need to agree to take up the discussion maybe the next day and sleep on it. Offer reassurance that it's important to you to talk about it, but you are too tired right now to continue, and it's more sensible to continue when you've both slept on it. Imagine it like you're cooking dinner and you realize you forgot an ingredient that you need. You can't make the dish without it. Would you rather throw the whole meal away and order takeout even though you're hungry, or B, put the meal on pause until you can pick up the ingredient and finish cooking? The next time you're in a late night argument, remember the goal isn't to win by midnight. The goal is to bring harmony back and protect your relationship. If you need to take a break from an argument, it's okay to pause it. It's much more beneficial. If you think about it, any problem we have, whether at work or home, that's not going right, and we try desperately to fix it, sometimes we have to admit that we need a break, and looking at the problem when we've refreshed often is the best thing to do. Don't let your exhaustion win the fight for you. Sleep on it and wake up ready to reconnect. We've all been in that situation many times, but whilst it would be great to find a solution and wrap things up neat and tidy by bedtime, the reality is this isn't what usually happens. None of us have a magic wand to wave over and solve our problems as quickly as we'd like to. Hopefully, the next day will enable you both to approach things with a fresh mind and with a calmer demeanor. You're more likely to find a solution if you don't try and force one. Thank you for being here. I hope this put things in perspective. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. If you found this helpful, share this video with a friend who needs to hear this. Until next time, friends, thanks for tuning in.